Hello YouTube, Big Ford guy here. Remember that thing I was telling you about my gauges? Here's the thing about my gauges. Now listen to this. I'm going to give you a little story. I'm going to show you too. Hold on one second. On this 71, I went and bought gauges for the, it's a three gauge mechanism, you know, like you get for water, oil, alternator. So I went down and I was in Harbor Freight and I decided, okay, they had 3 gauges there. It was cheap, 17 bucks. I don't know if you can see all that, but it's just blocking it. And so I went down and I got them. It was $17 for the whole kit. $17 for the whole kit, and well, it didn't turn out right. First of all, I got in the car, I ran everything, all the wiring. The fittings that go to these things are bad. They're oval. I took one set back, got another set, they're oval. Got another set, I hooked it up. You can see back there, there's oil leaking right around the switch. The front one, the water, I don't know if you can see down there. Maybe. It's hard to see in there without the alternator off, but the water one runs down there. That was leaking. Inside the car where I had them hooked up, that was leaking. What I'm trying to say is, if you go get the 3 gauges, don't buy them from Harbor Freight. I know 2 things: Harbor Freight and compressors. Do not get it from Harbor Freight at all. But I did get some new gauges. Let me get this stuff all ripped out, all this old stuff ripped out. And I got some real good gauges, some Bosch gauges, and I'll show you how to install them. I'll be back. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. What I did is took all the other stuff out, and as you can see, I put a new fitting on off the other set. I went and bought a 3-piece Bosch set. Got all 3 gauges, good set. I mean, I paid like $50 something for it, but it's way better than that Harbor Freight one. So what I did was, this is how we do it now. To do these gauges, here's a thermostat. This is already hooked to your gauge in the car. All you got to do is run it like I ran mine through the firewall right there. Let me get a little better view on that for you. I ran mine through the firewall right there. I got the rubber bushing that goes over that. You just run it out to your temperature switch, which one of mine's right there. And as you can see, I put Teflon tape around it so it don't leak. And these fittings are way better than the one over there. And all you do, just slide it in. And this is the water one now. I mean, you ain't got to do nothing in the car but hook the gauge up to the bracket because it's already hooked to the gauge. You ain't got to do nothing to this one. Just bring it out and find your water pressure gauge and hook it to it, or your temperature gauge and hook it right to it. I Tefloned everything because I don't want nothing leaking. Because that'd be a bitch. Alright. And that should do it. She shouldn't leak. Hopefully. That still feels a little loose to me, but she shouldn't leak. She should be good. Now I want to show you something. Show you how to do the oil pressure one. Sorry about that. I know my camera went a little off. I want to show you the oil pressure one, how all the fittings go onto it and everything. Like I did the back of it. Right there. I put Teflon tape around it, make sure it don't leak. Now this is for your oil one. I got the gauge right out and everything. Let me show you. This is the gauge for the oil one. And how that works is, let me get my other parts here. You get one like this. That'll screw into the block to the back of the oil sending switch. And then you got this for the line. Now all this does There it is. Hold on one second. All that does is slide on your line like this. You put this on like that, and then you get these little pressure fittings. It just slides on like that. And it's the same inside the car. Inside the car the same way to, and that goes, and it's same for the back of the gauge, see? Just slides in, bam, you tighten it. And this fitting is the same way out here to where the oil pressure switch goes. Just tighten it in, and that's it. Then you bolt it inside the car. So let me go start mine out here and run it inside the car. So let me set you up for a minute. Trying to figure out where to get you so I can. Sorry about all the movement, but maybe I can't get it from here. Yeah, you're probably not going to see it. Okay, I'm back. What I did, I went and got the oil part all hooked up, just like I showed you. It's all hooked together. I use Teflon tape. Like I said, it's just the pressure fitting goes in between your tube, nothing major, and it runs inside the car to the gauge. Same with the water. The only thing different about the water is, good Lord, the only thing different about the water is that it's already hooked to your gauge. You do not have to hook it to your gauge. So let me go over this again. The water one, it'll come through wherever you're running it to, through the firewall, right to here. You put your two fittings on. They give you fittings in your kit. The fittings down here, and then you do your top fitting, which is your thermostat goes in there and it bolts to that. All you gotta do is take your temperature switch out to do that. And in the back, if it's a Ford or a Chevy, you just take your oil pressure switch out and replace it with the little unit they give you, which is a pressure fitting. Now in here, inside the car, the gauge part of it, get in here and I'll show you, is on the oil pressure, the back side of it, right there, you can see it. The line goes right in there. It's hooked up the same way as it is out by the oil switch. Same thing. You put your little pressure fitting on, it screws on. Water, temperature, should I say, is the same thing. The temperature gauge, it comes together. Just run it out. It's already hooked up. Just make sure it's through your bracket. And then you got your volt gauge. Now, this has got to be put to a power on when you turn your key on. And a ground. That's it. A power on the ground. It'll work. Now, let's see if these things work. Yep, there you go. Got beautiful oil pressure. Car's still a little cold. It's starting to come, not much. And the gauge is working. Sorry about that. See that fluctuate? See? Charging. So all my gauges are working. All the gauges are working on it, and they're working perfect. Like I said, I mean, I don't go to Harbor Freight. Their gauges suck. I have no leaks with these gauges. I mean, it cost me more money. They were like 40 some odd dollars. But yeah, it's basically simple. Like I said, this hooks up the same way it does at the pressure switch. This hooks up. It's all together. You just run it out to a temperature switch. And it screws in, and that's just to an on power. You gotta find an on power to hook that to. But yeah, it's simple. It's simple, and you know, it works good. I have no gauges in this car because I changed everything around in it. But that'll be it for today, YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Definitely subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. I'm doing some motor swaps. Motor swaps, some motor builds, a bunch of stuff. So like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.